Self-improving AI agents are finally here, and I do not mean a generic chatbot that remembers your name. Instead, I mean an agent that completes a complex task, uses that experience to turn that into reusable skills, and then measurably gets faster and better the next time, all on its own. Which means the more you use it, the better it gets at your work. There is no need of repeating reusable instructions. Just like humans, it learns from experience. And this AI agent right here is called the Hermes Agent, which is an open source AI agent. Hermes Agent has nailed down something that no other open source agent has, which is a self-improvement loop. It is an AI agent that grows with you. It is not a coding co-pilot or a chatbot wrapper. Instead, it is an autonomous agent that lives on your server. It remembers what it learns and it gets more capable the longer it runs. So it learns from your tasks, it remembers everything across sessions, and it uses them just to improve itself. And it is open source, which means that its code is readily available online. And if I scroll down here, we can see it is a self-improving AI agent built by Nuance Research. It's the only agent with a built-in learning loop. It creates skills from experience, improves them during use, and nudges itself to persist knowledge. It searches its own past conversations and builds a deepening model of who you are across sessions. Now, since this is open source, you can run it on a $5 VPS, a GPU cluster, or serverless infrastructure that costs nearly nothing when idle. It is not tied to your laptop. You can talk to it from Telegram while it works on a cloud VM. And you can use any model you want. And a few more features that you can go through. So since this is open source, we can run it on our own machine. There is no need to pay, let's say $10, $20 a month to access it. That is not the case. We can host it ourselves. We can connect any AI model that we want. And we can also access it from any messaging channel, for example, Telegram, WhatsApp, etc. An incredible use case of Hermes could be integrating it within your team communication channel, maybe on Slack, maybe on Teams, so that the agent learns from your interactions and creates specialized skills which are tailored to your workflows. And if you scroll down here, you can see how you can deploy and start using the Hermes agent. In today's video, I'm going to show you the easiest, the quickest, and the cheapest way to start using Hermes agent right away, so that even the non-technical people can easily follow along and set up the Hermes agent for themselves. So if you're ready, let's get started and let's set up the Hermes agent. So hello everyone, my name is Yashica Jain. I'm an AI automation expert running my own agency called Automates AI, wherein we help businesses integrate AI into their processes. If you're interested in custom AI systems, don't forget to check out the link to our website in the description. And if you're interested in this entire concept of no-code AI, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and do turn on the bell notification. And now let's get right into it. So quickly going through the features, I've already told you that it lives where you do, meaning we can integrate it within Telegram, Discord, Slack, WhatsApp, etc. It grows the longer it runs. So it basically compounds in value the more you use it. You can have scheduled automations. For example, at 9 a.m. every Monday, you have to do XYZ. So it is capable of doing that. You can build your own team of agents within Hermes. I've already shown you how you can build agent teams within Claude Code and OpenClaw, where basically these team members work in parallel to complete a particular task. And you can do that same thing within Hermes itself. We have real sandboxing and full access to the web and browser. If I be very honest with you, it's like OpenClaw but with a self-improving loop. Now let's understand its setup. Now why are we even discussing its setup in the first place? Is it not as easy as creating an account and getting started? Well, not, because it is open source and it needs to be hosted. So you can think of it this way, that these guys have given us the code and now it is our responsibility to get it running. Now talking about hosting, so again, you have two solid options. First is you can host it on a local machine, and the second is you can rent a virtual private server. So let's understand both of these options. So in case of a local machine, the Hermes agent would be living directly on, let's say, your laptop or your Mac Mini or whichever machine you have. In that case, it will have access to your system, to your files, and hence it is recommended not to host it on your main system, the system that you use every single day, where all of your important documents are stored, where your passwords are stored, for example. So if you do want to host it locally, you should go with a secondary machine that you don't use for your major tasks. For example, you have another laptop, you have another Mac Mini, you have another PC, then you can easily do it there. The setup could be a little complicated as compared to what I will be showing in that case, but you can still get it up and running in that case. But mind you, it will have access to your entire system. The second option is hosting it on a virtual private server. So in this case, we are obviously hosting it on a server which is our own server, but it is not a physical server. It is actually a virtual server that we will be renting. So this is more like buying a property. This is more like renting a property. But the good thing about having it on a virtual private server is that it does not have access to your system, to your files. It is living on that server only. It is an isolated space where it is living. And as you might have guessed, I'm going to go with a virtual private server. The end products in both cases are the same. Another thing to note is that in case of a local machine, it will be using your system's resources and it might not run 24/7. But in case of a virtual private server, it will not be consuming your laptops or your machine's resources. Instead, it will have its own dedicated resources and it runs 24/7. So even if your laptop is off, even if your PC is off, your Hermes agent keeps on running. Even on their GitHub page, they had mentioned that you can easily run it on a VPS. So I'm going to show you how you can set up Hermes on a virtual private server. So now it's time to choose a VPS provider. Basically, from where are we going to rent a VPS? Now you do have a variety of options to choose from, but I had promised you the easiest, the quickest, and the most cost-effective way of setting up the Hermes agent. And hence I would recommend Hostinger as the VPS provider for self-hosting the Hermes agent. Hostinger has made the deploying process so accessible that anyone out there can go ahead and deploy a Hermes agent without any setup friction. It is a one-click template that launches the Hermes agent instance in seconds. It ensures that the agent is always on and it can be accessed through all the communication channels around the clock. My personal favorite is their persistent Docker volume that ensures that all the agent learned skills, memories, session histories, and configurations stay even after restart, which ensures that the Hermes agent is not going to lose data, which is exactly why we're going with the Hermes agent, because we want the self-improving loop and we do not want to lose on memory, which they are guaranteeing. Our API keys, our conversation data, and the business context is going to remain entirely on our infrastructure. No one else is going to access it, which is extremely important for handling confidential data. And hence, if you do want to set up the Hermes agent, I would recommend going with Hostinger's VPS. So you will find the link to this page in the description below. Now talking about the VPS plan to choose, I would recommend going with the KVM2 plan, which includes 2 vCPU cores, 8 GB RAM, 100 GB NVMe disk space, and 8 TB bandwidth, which should allow us to easily use the Hermes agent, have skills, have memory, have history, and it will also help us to set up multi-agent teams, etc. So let's click on deploy, which is going to take us to this cart. From here, you can choose the time period for how long you would like to rent the VPS for. Is it 24 months, 12 months, or 1 month? The longer the duration, the better the price. And the Hermes agent auto deploys with the VPS. You can also choose to auto backup your data daily, which is an extension. And next up, choose a location which is the closest to you so that you get the least latency, which will ensure that your Hermes agent runs without any extra delays. For example, for myself, it is this one. Now, while the price is already reasonable, I would like to give you some extra discounts since you're watching this video. You can use the coupon code Yashica20 to get a flat 20% off on your VPS if you're either going with the 12 months plan or the 24 months plan. It works with both of these right there. So you will find a link to the page along with the coupon codes in the description. Don't forget to get some extra discounts. From here, you can click on continue and create your account. And now let me show you the rest of the process. So during the deployment, it is going to ask you to set up a username and the password which we will use to access our web terminal. So for the username, let's just go with the default, but yes, you can either change the password or note this down. So let me change it to something that I will remember, and let's click on deploy. Alright, so now our Hermes agent instance is running and we can go ahead and set it up. In case you're wondering how we landed up here, so you can basically, if you're on the home page, you can go to the VPS section and then click on manage here. And from the Docker section, you will be able to find it under projects. And just as a note, if you ever forget the password you had set up for our Hermes agent, or if you want to reset it, you can always go to manage, scroll down, go to environment, and from here you can change it or view it. So that was just a side note. So now let me go back. Alright, so now I'm going to click on open and it should ask us for the username and password. So the username was Hermes and let's put in the password and sign in. And we are in. Now we need to configure a few things and we should be good to start using the Hermes agent. Now regardless of if you went with a local machine or a virtual private server, you can follow along to set up the Hermes agent. So it is asking, how would you like to set up Hermes? Do you want to go with the quick setup, which includes setting up the provider, the model and the messaging, which is also recommended, or the full setup? So we are going to go with the quick setup. So simply press enter. Now we have to choose the provider. Now one thing to understand here is that Hermes is not a model. It is not an AI model. Instead, it is an agent framework, which means that we have to bring in our own AI model for it to work. So think of it this way, Hermes is the body and the brain could be something like OpenAI, Claude, Grok, Kimi, Minimax, any of these options that you're seeing here, DeepSeek, Gemini, or even you can bring your own custom endpoint. And the performance of your Hermes agent is going to heavily depend on the model you choose. So it is your call which one you want to go with, but I would suggest going with OpenRouter. So OpenRouter gives you access to a variety of AI models made by Anthropic, by OpenAI, by Gemini, by DeepSeek. You get access to a variety of them through just one API key, one wallet. So this is OpenRouter, the unified interface for LLMs. If I go to models, we can see all the different models we can access within our Hermes agent just through that one provider connection. So you can create an account on OpenRouter, then you can head over to API keys and you can create a new key. Let's call it the Hermes agent. I'm not going to put a credit limit and also it's not going to expire, and let's create it and copy the API key. And then hit enter on OpenRouter. It is going to ask for the API key which we have to paste. So I'm going to paste it here and let's hit enter. It might not show you your API key, but it is there. Okay, so just paste it and hit enter. And now we can choose from a variety of models. But yes, do ensure that inside OpenRouter you add about $5 to $10 so that you can start using these models. So again, there are a variety of these. We can easily check out the pricing and compare them. So to start, I'm going to go with Claude Haiku 4.5 and let's hit enter. And this is something that you can change anytime. You can change OpenRouter to another provider and you can easily change the model as well. If you wish to go with a single provider like OpenAI or Anthropic, then that is also just fine. So now it's time to connect a messaging platform. So either we can set it up now or we can set it up later. Let's do it now. Let's connect it to Telegram for now. Now you can connect it to multiple platforms at once. It is not a hard and fast rule that if you do connect it to Telegram, you cannot connect it to another one. No, that's not the case. It is up to you. You can choose whichever ones you want to connect with. So let's go with this. And these are the available platforms: Telegram, Discord, Slack, Signal, email, and all of these. So let's go with Telegram. So it is asking if we want to launch the Hermes chat now. So let's go with yes, which is a capital Y. And there we have it up and running. Available tools, available skills. And if you do message it, you will get a reply. And we got a response. It is saying, hello, I am Hermes Agent. I can help you with a wide range of tasks, writing code, analyzing information, managing projects, etc. What can I help you with today? So that confirms that our provider setup, which is connecting to OpenRouter, is working fine and our model is working fine. Alright, so let's continue with our Telegram setup. So to come out of the Hermes agent, we will press Ctrl C together Control C is the same even on Mac or Windows. It is not Command C, it is Control C, and we are here. So to go back to that configuration page, we are going to type Hermes setup, which is going to take us back to that. And now we're going to go back to the messaging platforms, and here's Telegram. So first we are going to hit space. I think I forgot hitting the space in our last turn. So first we are going to hit a space, which is going to check mark it, and then we are going to hit enter. Great. So now it is asking for a bot token. Now for a bot token, we will have to create a bot on Telegram, obviously. And if you want to connect any AI agent to Telegram, it is the same process. You first have to create a bot, give it the bot token, allow a few users, and that is how you set it up. May it be Claude code, may it be OpenClaw, any AI agent. So let's go to Telegram and let's create a bot and let's give it a bot token. Okay, so I am on Telegram web. You can also access it through your phone. You just have to download the app. And in there, you have to search for BotFather, and you have to go with this guy which has a verification mark. We're going to open it. Then we will click on create a new bot. Let's give it a name. Let's call it Hermes Agent. And then we have to give it a username. The username must be unique and it must end in bot. So let's say Yashica Hermes bot. Okay, that is available, and let's create it. And here we have our bot token, which I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste it here. It is not going to show you the bot token for security purposes, and now I'm going to hit enter, and that is done. Now it is asking us for the allowed user IDs, which means that only the users that we specify here will be able to message the bot and access it. It is not that anyone out there can message our bot and access it. So for that, we have to give it a user ID. Now, if you want multiple people to access it, you will have to give it multiple user IDs separated by comma. If you want to just access it yourself, then you just need to give a single user ID. So for that, again, coming to Telegram, you have to search for user info bot, and you have to go with this one that has this crown-like thing. Okay, let me close this. And I'm going to start this bot, and here is the user ID. So copy that and paste it here and hit enter. Now, if you do want to set up multiple, then just do a comma and just keep on adding more and more. Okay, but I just want one, so I'm going to hit enter. It is asking if this is going to be the home channel, which is correct. So I'm going to say yes, and that is done. Now, right now, if you go and message your Telegram bot, which is the one we just now created, so you can search by username, and if you start it, it is not going to respond to you. In order to start the messaging gateway, we need to send this command, which is Hermes gateway. So you type Hermes and gateway, send it. And now if I say something here, it is typing, and here's our reply. So let me send another message just to confirm the back and forth. All right. Nice to meet you too, Yashica. I'm Hermes Agent. How can I help you out? Great. So that confirms the Telegram connection. Now, if you do stop this gateway from here, it is again not going to respond to you. So if you do want your Telegram bot to be up and running, your gateway needs to be up and running. For now, I'm going to stop the gateway so that we can do a few more things here. And at the very end, we will start it again so that the Telegram bot is again live. So to stop it, you have to send Control C, and that is stopped. So just to give you a test, if I send a reply here, it is not going to respond. All right. So now to pull up our agent again, we are going to type Hermes, and that pulls up the agent. These are the available tools. These are the available skills. We're going to talk more about that. But before that, I want you to type a / and just look at the different options that it comes up with. Now, these commands are a combination of actions and skills. For example, /new is going to help you start a new session. So this is an action. So if I do hit enter, it is going to start a new session, which is great. Similarly, we have more like undo, reset, history. Now let's say I want to switch the model to some other model. So I can just go with /model and then OpenRouter, and then I can switch the model, for example. But I'm good with my Claude haiku, so I'm going to cancel it. So those are the actions. If you scroll to the very bottom, you will start seeing skills. For example, OCR and documents, which is extracting text from PDFs and scanned documents. So this is a skill. Similarly, GIF search is a skill. So skills are basically reusable instructions for the AI agent. So a skill is created once and the AI agent uses them the next time it does a similar job. And the way the Hermes agent gets into the self-improving loop is through skills. So every time you do something, for example, let's say you are using the Hermes agent to write a LinkedIn post. It gave you the first draft. Then you said that, okay, I want to change this, this, and this. I want to change the tone. I want to remove the M dashes. I want to do this, do that. And you have your LinkedIn post ready. Now at that point, an AI assistant like Claude or OpenAI, they would stop there. But the Hermes agent does not stop there. It is going to use that experience. It is going to use those inputs to create a new skill. And the next time you ask it to generate a LinkedIn post, boom, you don't have to give it the same instructions. It already knows what you're looking for, thanks to the skills. Now you would think that, okay, Hermes agent automatically creates skills. That is nice. Can I create a skill manually? Yes, you can. You can simply tell it that I want to create a skill about this, this, and this, and it would create that skill for you. We will see how we can create a skill. Skills are nothing else but step-by-step instructions that the AI agent refers to each time it does a similar job. You can call it a recipe, you can call it reusable instructions, whatever you want to call it, serves the same purpose. And the ones that you're seeing here, these are basically inbuilt skills. If you search for Hermes agent skills, you will find this page where you can have a look at all of the different skills it has. Built-in skills are 74 of these, which you will have by default. For example, we have OCR and documents, we just now saw. And apart from that, let's say there is this skill. I'm just taking an example, which is by Lobe Hub. So in that case, you have to run this command to install this skill inside of your agent. In most cases, having these built-in skills plus skills related to your workflows should be more than enough to power your AI agent and take it to the next level. In one of my previous videos, I had shown a comparison of the same response with a skill and without a skill, and the difference was quite noticeable. And the concept of skills is universal across all AI agents, maybe OpenClaw, Claude Code. Everyone is using this framework. Alright, so let's remove this. And let me now again go out of the Hermes agent by pressing Ctrl+C. And now let me go back to the Hermes setup, and furthermore let me go to agent settings. So here we can configure a few more things. For example, the max iterations. So this is the maximum tool calling iterations per conversation. The default for the same is 90, which works for most tasks. I think 90 is quite more than enough. But you can obviously increase it if your tasks are much more complex. So it is basically asking you that per conversation, how many tools can it call? So I wouldn't like to change it, so let's just go with 90. But if you do feel your tasks need more tool calling capabilities, you can increase the number. The next one is the tool progress display. So when a tool is being called, let's say it is searching the web, or it is generating an image, or it is doing something else, how much of it do you want to see? Do you want to turn it off completely? Do you want to just see the tool name when it changes? Do you want to see every tool call with a short preview? Or do you want to see full arguments, full results, and full debug logs? So I'm going to go with all, which is kind of an intermediate one. We're neither seeing a lot of them and we're nor ignoring it. So in case of all, we would still know that, okay, it is using the web search tool. Okay, it is generating an image at this point. May it be in Telegram or may it be here. So I think that's the one to go with. You can obviously choose from one of these and we are going to hit enter. The next one is the context compression. So at some point in the conversation, the AI agent has to compress the previous messages, which is by summarizing it. So instead of having all the 100 back and forth messages inside of its memory, it just summarizes them. And the number has to be between 0.5 and 0.95. The higher the number, the later it is going to compress, which means it is going to use more context. It will retain the messages as is. But if this number is lower, it is going to compress sooner. So let's go with something in the middle, which is somewhere around 0.75, let's say, which is neither sooner nor later. And in this case, at some point in the conversation, it is going to summarize the old messages, but it's not going to be too soon, which is right now, because right now it is 0.5. So let's increase that a little bit. Then we have the session reset mode. So when does a particular session reset? Is it inactivity plus a daily reset? Or is it just inactivity? Or is it daily, which is at a fixed hour? Or does it never auto reset? So right now by default, it has selected inactivity plus daily, which I think is the one to go with. And they have also mentioned that it is recommended, which basically means that if there is no activity in the chat for a long time, it is going to reset that session, or else if it is going to reset them on a daily basis, whichever comes first is going to reset it. So let's go with that. Then we have the inactivity timeout. So the same inactivity we were talking about. So basically after how many minutes does it consider as inactive? So right now it is 1440, but we can also do a lower number like, let's say 900 for example. And then it is asking for the daily reset hour, that at what point in time do I reset it. So the value has to be between 0 and 23. So let's go with 3. All right. And another thing here to note was that the messaging sessions accumulate context over time. Each message adds to the conversation history, which means growing API costs. So to manage this, the sessions can automatically reset after a period of inactivity or at a fixed time. And when this does happen, the agent is going to save the important things to its persistent memory so that it does not forget, but the conversation context is still cleared. So basically, instead of adding messages to the same session and increasing your API costs, what it does is it automatically resets the session, which basically keeps the important things in the persistent memory and discards the rest. It not only saves you on the API cost, but it also helps the AI agent moving forward. So it's a win-win for both. You still have the memory of the important things. You're not losing that when you start a new session, but you're also discarding the unnecessary information like, okay, got it, you know. And that right there is the concept of persistent memory. Keeping the things that matter the most, keeping the most important things, and clearing the mess. So either after 900 minutes of inactivity, it is going to do a session reset, or every day at 3, which is at night. Now about the tool calling. So 7 out of 11 tool categories are available, which is vision is there, mixture of agents is there, browser automation is there, text to speech is there, terminal is there, task planning is there, and skills are there. The web search is not there because it hasn't been configured. So now let's go ahead and configure web search so that our Hermes agent can actually look into the web and get us information in real time. Then image generation is not on because of the missing API key. So it needs a fal.ai or fal.com API key. Then RL training is not there and skills hub is not there. So let's configure the most important, which is web search. And here's the list of different commands you can use. For example, we have been using Hermes setup all this time, which is to rerun the full wizard. Then you have Hermes setup model to change the model. Then you have Hermes setup terminal, Hermes setup gateway, tools, config edit, and so on. You also have a Hermes doctor in case you want to check for issues. And if you ever want to start the chat, then you just have to type Hermes. And this is about this, okay, this TUI, which is the terminal user interface. But in case of Telegram, it is not as complicated. It is more like a chat agent. You have to go through this process once, and once everything is set up, for example, the web search, the skills and everything, then you can continue using it from Telegram without having to come here at all. Because I understand that most people might not be comfortable with this interface and it might overwhelm them. So it's fine, you just do it once and you forget it and you access it from Telegram. So for setting up web search, you can go with one of these. We are going to go with Firecrawl. So just search for Firecrawl, which powers AI agents with clean web data. And I'm going to sign up. So out of these options, we are going to choose the first one, hand it to my AI agent. And here's our API key, which we are going to copy. We are going to come back here and we are going to type this Hermes config set. By the way, I'm looking at it from here, okay? So Hermes config set, and the name of the key is this Firecrawl underscore API underscore key. So let me type it here. Firecrawl underscore API underscore key, and then the final value of our API key, which is the key we copied. So I'm going to paste that and hit enter. You know what? I did not copy the API key. Actually, I think I copied this accidentally. I don't know. And I thought that because of security issues, it is not showing my API key, but that is not the case. So yeah, just type Firecrawl API key, put a space, paste your API key, and hit enter. There we go. Okay, so that was a copy pasting issue. And that right there configures our web search. So let's just go here. Also, Firecrawl gives us a dedicated skill that we can use to improve the web search capabilities for our AI agent. So just copy this, okay? Okay, so here to start our chat, I am just going to type Hermes, and that pulls up the agent. First, let's just confirm if this setup is working. So I'm going to ask it what is the current stock price of Apple, or let me just do Apple. Okay, so it is searching and it is saying 273.43, and let's see. Well, on my end it is showing 270.66. There's a $3 gap, I think. 273, 270, yeah. Or else let me ask something else. Let me say, what is the weather like in New York? So it is searching it. Okay, so as of today's date, it is around this. Let's see. Okay, so on my side it says 62, which seems to be fine. I think the tool is working. How else can I confirm? Okay, let me tell it to go to my website, which is this, and tell me what we offer. Now, obviously, if the tool is working, it should be able to fetch the content from my website. Okay, it is taking a while. And that is correct. Autonomous AI agents, workflow automations, voice agents, social media AI systems, which is exactly what I have on my website right here. So yes, that now finally confirms that the web search is working fine. And now let's also set up the skill. So for that, we just have to copy that and paste it here. Let me send that. So this skill is going to enable it to search the web better. All right. Cool. So let's continue here. Continue. And we are good. So web search capabilities added as well. So now that we have set up Hermes, we have the provider, we have the messaging channel, we have the web search capabilities and some additional settings that we did, we can now run the gateway so that our Telegram bot runs and we can stop using it from this TUI. So to do that, just type in Hermes gateway run. That is running it. Going back here, let me tell me a joke, and it is typing. I have seen all of these AI agents go with scientist jokes, and that right there completes our Hermes setup. Now there's obviously a lot more to Hermes. This is not it. It can do a lot of things. It has more features, more functionalities. This tutorial of mine was more focused on how you can set it up. But if you want to see a more detailed video about Hermes, for instance, these features that you're seeing right here, or something like agent teams, or if you want me to show use cases, etc., do let me know in the comments. If I see a considerate amount of requests, then I will bring up that video. This video should have given you a good idea of Hermes, what it is, how you can use it, how it can help you, and how you can set it up, obviously. Moving forward, you can continue using Hermes as your everyday AI agent. Just make sure you're not sharing any sensitive information as such, and you're not giving it access to sensitive platforms or, let's say, sensitive files. Apart from that, you should be good. It is going to learn from its experience and it is just going to get better. You will see this after you use it for, let's say, a week or two, that you will see that, okay, it is actually, learning from its previous experiences. As I said, this is the first AI agent that gets better as you use it. You will find the link to Hostinger along with the coupon codes in the description if you do prefer to set up Hermes in a quick and efficient way. You'll also find the link to our website in the description in case you're interested in transforming your business with AI. If anyone is looking for AI consulting or coaching from me, then you can check out my calendar in the description. It is a paid one-on-one call that you can use for strategy or planning, technical support or troubleshooting, feasibility assessment, project guidance, software setup if needed any templates were applicable, basically you can hop on a 1-hour call with me and I can help you with your AI needs. Do not forget to follow me on LinkedIn and do send me a connection request if you would like to connect with me personally. And do follow me on X. Again, the links to both the social medias are in the description. So yeah, if this video was helpful, do like the video, do subscribe to the channel, and if there's anything you want me to cover in the future, do let me know in the comments. I will meet you in the next one. Till then, bye.